Welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 27th of July for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, please check out beneath this video where you can tune in to the daily astrology and tarot video show, which is proving great fun, and you can grab your free daily written horoscope every single day. Or you can chat with me direct on Twitter at HoroscopeAce. This week begins with a passionate quarter moon in the sign of Scorpio, which is about desire. The sun is in the very warm-hearted and loving sign of Leo. So if there is any politics around a relationship, and it doesn't have to be purely a romantic tie, but if there's any possessiveness, control, jealousy, trust issues, maybe they do need to be looked at this week. Now also this week, Mars is in a square with Jupiter from Wednesday through to the end of the week. Now this is one of those influences which kind of makes it a little bit difficult for us to know our boundaries, because Mars is in its own sign of Aries, which is about initiating things, and Jupiter's in the part of the zodiac which is very much to do with responsibilities and obligations. So if we do decide to do something in a bit more of a dash and try to inject extra energy and verve, we just need to be aware if it's appropriate for that particular situation. Also, towards the end of this week, the Sun is clashing with Uranus. This can make us impulsive, restless, particularly with our resources. Perhaps this could see us spend some money on something that suddenly we get the desire for. But equally, we may ask ourselves the question, should we splash out unless it's something that we absolutely essentially need in a more practical context? Also, this can be a time not to be too generous to someone we love just because we want to spoil them. Sometimes we have to remind people to take responsibility for their own affairs. Now, as this week draws to a close, a full moon in the sign of Aquarius is going to open up the next 7-day period. So it is important to be mindful of that square between Uranus and the Sun, because it is going to feature in next week's full moon. But it's the opposition between Mercury and Saturn which really catches my eye as the week draws to a close. And that could be a sort of sense of limitation. Maybe we're going to encounter someone who's not as sensitive to our situation, especially if we try to open up as we might like. So just watch out for someone who could be a bit cool, a bit snappy, or if we feel a bit more tense in ourselves. Your specific forecast, Leo, shows a quarter moon angling up from Monday, which provides a backdrop of energy for the week, and it's squaring up in a tense way with the Sun in your sign. It's possible that something that means a lot to you in terms of your sense of direction doesn't quite fit in with the needs or the agenda of someone close to you. But that doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't stick to your plan. And even if someone does try to block and inhibit you, actually in the second half of this week, you can find yourself being quite rebellious about that and pushing even harder to get what you feel is your way. I don't mean to say that you should do this in a kind of selfish manner. It's more as if someone's inhibiting you because they don't really understand where you're coming from. And therefore, through your frustration, the Sun's square to Uranus in the second half of this week can see you having to speak your truth. Also, Mars, of course, is in your sector of freedom and is clashing with Jupiter. And for all the good will in the world, if you've kept supporting others and kept doing those practical acts to keep it all together, there's a part of you that's becoming quite weary with all of that. You want to invest more in yourself, and yet psychologically, as Mercury has made its way through your 12th solar house for just under 9 weeks, you probably haven't always been at your best during that transit. The great news is that Mercury is going to arrive in your sign next week, so take a great deal of hope and faith from that. But I think just towards the end of this week, there could be a kind of pinch point where, again, just all those responsibilities, obligations or concerns close in on you. But be assured Mercury comes out of shadow on Sunday, which is part of a marker of progress as it revitalizes itself and gains energy before moving into your sign next week. And I do feel that if you do need to speak up and be a bit more to the point, or even rock the boat a little bit, because being a fixed sign, that's not something you generally would welcome without a degree of trepidation. I feel you may find yourself in a more rebellious space as this week draws to a close. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for having joined me. If you'd like to ascend above your zodiac sign and embrace serious astrology, please check out my affordable range of astrology reports beneath this video. You can get 30% off on a 12-month forecast and a character analysis, or check out the testimonials for myself if you would like to have a one-to-one personal consultation. Thank you.